Here is a list of my favorite free and open source programs. This contains 10 great free and open source programs and applications you should be using in 2023. To start us off, we have GIMP, which is quite a powerful image manipulation program used to edit or change up images and photos. GIMP is very lightweight. It does not need the most powerful GPU. However, it is recommended you have a PC with at least 512 megabytes of video memory, but of course, the more, the better. GIMP works on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, all variants of BSD, Haiku OS, and React OS. It may be available on other systems too. It lacks a couple of advanced features compared to Adobe Photoshop, but are you really going to need them anyway? Probably not. It has just about everything you could possibly need or want. And at number 2, we have Espeak, an excellent compact text-to-speech synthesis application available on Windows, Mac OS, Solaris, Linux, RISC OS, BSD, Haiku OS, as well as Android and iOS. Espeak supports thousands of languages. The Windows version has an easy-to-use interface for SOP 5 voices, whereas the Linux, BSD, Mac, Haiku, and Solaris versions use the command line for prompts, which can be somewhat daunting. However, you can easily install Espeak inside a Windows VM, if you do not wish to use the command line interface. However, it's very easy to learn the commands necessary to use Espeak. Espeak comes with many voices pre-installed, but only 2 will come by default if you are installing the Windows version, although it is possible to add more. And at number 3, we have OBS Studio, the best screen recorder for Windows, Mac, and Linux. OBS Studio can capture a wide range of things, from PC screens to webcams, and it is capable of doing streaming as well. You gamers and streamers will probably like this. OBS needs about 8 GB of RAM to run comfortably, or at least that's the recommended amount of RAM you should have. OBS can also capture audio from microphones and headsets, so you can do voiceovers in real time, which is great if you need to talk during your videos. Moving on to number 4, we have Flameshot, an excellent little utility for taking screenshots on your PC. This is far better than Greenshot, because it receives updates, is more modern, has way more features, and is cross-platform, meaning it will work on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux systems, as long as you have a modern version of one of these systems. Flameshot provides real-time editing features, so you can edit a screenshot before you save it, and you can reposition the rectangular square to capture more or less of the screen. This utility is by far the best one for capturing screenshots. I highly recommend you try Flameshot on your PC or laptop, and tell me what you think of it. And at number 5, we have Audacity, the best audio editor for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, BSD, Haiku OS, React OS, and other OSs. Audacity has had support for real-time effects for a while now, meaning you can play an effect without applying it first. However, you must download all of the real-time plugins or add-ons in order to take advantage of this, and on the Linux version, you will have to install the compatible plugins or add-ons that support the Linux version of Audacity, which you must use as an app image, which you can download from their website. Audacity comes packed full of great effects. However, I do wish it had a flanner, because it currently lacks one right now. I'm sure they will add one in a future release. And at number 6, we have Notepad++, the best text editor out there. While this program is Windows only, you can quite easily use it on Mac OS or Linux, using Wine, Crossover, or Bottles, some compatibility layers for running Windows applications on other OSs. However, I find Wine to be the best and easiest to use. Notepad++ is great for programmers and code editors who study code, or for people who need a sophisticated note-taking application. Notepad++ also has the ability to have tab notes, just like the new Notepad does in Windows 11, 22H2. And at number 7, we have Wine, a great compatibility layer for Linux, FreeBSD, and some other Unix-like systems, like Mac OS. Wine is not an emulator, but it provides great compatibility options for those of you needing to run Windows-specific software on Linux or BSD, and this works with a lot of older games and software. However, you cannot expect Wine to be the Swiss Army knife when it comes to running everything. Some stuff, like Sony Vegas Pro, or FL Studio, require direct access to your hardware, and programs such as Wine introduce latency, so this can, and likely will, affect the performance of some applications, though it will run most software just fine, but some things do not work properly under Wine. Others may not work at all. Wine is still great, despite its downsides, but it should not be a replacement for running every bit of Windows software. You're much better off finding a native application for your OS, or use Windows in a virtual machine, that also introduces significant issues, hardware-wise, so you cannot run demanding applications in a VM. And at number 8, we have VirtualBox, the best virtualization software for running any operating system, aside from Mac OS. VirtualBox can run Windows 1.0 and later, older versions of Mac OS, IBM OS 2 Warp, FreeBSD, and other BSDs for that matter, Haiku OS, React OS, MS-DOS, FreeDOS, Temple OS, Android, any Linux distribution, Solaris, amongst many others. VirtualBox is available on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, and it provides a very easy-to-use interface, is pretty good when it comes to security, meaning you won't be likely to infect your main machine if a VM becomes compromised, and it also provides a great testing environment for software, or legacy programs and systems. Second to last, we have 7-Zip, the best file archiver and extractor for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Some Linux distros such as Ubuntu come with 7-Zip pre-installed, but for others, you may have to download and install it. 7-Zip is better than WinRAR or WinZip because it's free, with no price tag to pay, and it works with many archive types, including 7Z, RAR, ZIP, etc. 7-Zip also provide a 32-bit version for ancient PCs or laptops. Lastly, and at number 10, we have LibreOffice, the best free alternative office suite to Microsoft Office, and it is available on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, BSD, Haiku OS, React OS, and other OSs. LibreOffice has great compatibility with Microsoft Word documents and PowerPoint presentations, and it also includes a spreadsheet, drawing, and database applications as well, so you can work on anything you need to. LibreOffice also has a great number of extensions available. One of them is a text-to-speech extension, but that extension isn't very good, sorry to say. Aside from that, I find LibreOffice to be great to use for typing up basic documents, or create basic slideshows, or even summarize something in a spreadsheet, and it may lack a couple of more advanced features, but who is going to use them anyway? Alrighty, that's it for this video folks. I hope you enjoyed this one, and until next time, bye for now.